We come to tell a story of mighty deeds and strife that happened here in this fair land long, long ago. 1588 the year saw three great ships of Spain's Armada come to grief on Streedagh strand. Set out to conquer England and overthrow the Virgin Queen Elizabeth, and set on throne sweet Isabella, King Philip's seed. Poor planning, bad timing, much mischance, the great adventure failed. 60 ships set tattered sail on wayward winds, up England's eastern coast, round Scotland and Ireland, to return to the safe havens of northern Spain. The Spanish Empire ruled the known world of this time, its armies invincible, its empire vast. The riches of the New World poured back to Spain, and God was on its side. Our play opens on the deck of Lavia, one of 3 ill-fated ships soon driven in the teeth of hurricane on Streedagh strand. Here are players: Admiral Bobadilla, second in command of the Armada, a turkey cock, haughty and high-handed. Francisco de Cuéllar, hero, as sea captain.
I am Captain Francisco de Cuéllar, commander of the galleon San Pedro, of the mighty Armada of Spain.
A pilot, disreputable, in fear of his life, on a hiding to nothing.
Oh, it's me.
Bobadilla explained the charge.
This captain of the galleon San Pedro disobeyed the strict orders of the admiral of the fleet, the Duke of Medina Sidonia, and brought his ship ahead of the flagship, breaking the crescent formation laid down by the Duke. The penalty is death by hanging from the yardarm, as an example to all who would break the order of the fleet.
What say you, Captain?
For 10 days, I commanded my ship in continuous action with the English sea dogs, and had received much injury from heavy cannonballs. Despite several shots taken below the waterline, I kept strict order in my position. On the 10th day, when the English retired and the ships of the Armada hove to repair their damages, this bad man, this stupid man, I left in charge, while I took some rest, being so exhausted I could hardly stand. This man, this pilot, this stupid man orders, make sail, and takes the ship ahead by 2 sea miles of the Admiral's flagship.
To make repairs, Your Honor. Otherwise we sink or fall behind into the clutches of the English to make repairs.
And so I summoned to the flagships to answer to the Duke. And before I reached her, orders were given that I and another poor captain should be strung up from the yardarm. I, who served with honor and gallantry all my life to my king, I demanded with much spirit and anger why I should be treated with so great an insult and dishonor.
Our judge advocate of the fleet, Don Martin de Aranda, speaks for your cause, de Cuéllar. He says you are a good soldier and loyal subject of the king, and deserve protection. Until I receive the written instruction of the Duke, who lies abed and morose, and unwilling that anyone should speak with him, no harm shall befall you.
And so our hero survives, and stripped of his command, he awaits his fate at the Duke's discretion. Battered and scattered by storms, The ships of the Armada struggle north, then west, on the instructions of the Duke.
Take great heed lest you fall upon the island of Ireland, for fear of the harm that may happen to you upon that coast.
Take heed indeed, but ships must obey the wind, whatever a Duke commands. And Lavia, in company with 2 others, La Juliana and Santa Maria de Vison, fetch up on a Maharao coast. 4 days at anchor, making repairs, looking for water and provisions, they pray for a wind to carry them out into the Atlantic to rejoin the fleet and turn south for home.
On the 5th day, there sprung up a great storm on our beam, with the sea up to the heavens, so that the cables could not hold, nor the sail serve us, and we were driven ashore with all 3 ships upon a beach, covered with very fine sand, shooting on one side and the other by great rocks. Such a thing was never seen, for within the space of 1 hour, all 3 ships were broken into pieces, so that there did not escape 300 men, and more than 1,000 were drowned, among them many persons of importance, captains, gentlemen, and other officials.
Many storms have beaten on this golden strand of Streedagh, but few as fierce as hurled these once proud galleons to bitter destruction. Many died, drowning on the breaking ships. Others, borne down by weight of money sewn in their clothes, sank within the space of minutes, wealthy corpses. Still more, casting all they had of weaponry and coin upon the waves, struck out with bravery aflame to swim to shore, where shrieking savages stripped them of their clothes. Resistance met with heavy blows and rough abuse, foul curse oaths.
I tried to save the judge, protect him, as he protected me. In vain. A hatchway cover we cast upon the waves, and he upon it. A huge wave bore him away, crying out and calling upon God while drowning. My leg was crushed by falling timber, and I called out, supplicating Our Lady of Santander. There came 4 waves, one after the other, and without knowing how, or knowing how to swim, they cast me upon the shore, all covered in blood and very much injured.
His trouble's just begun, for here comes a savage who only speaks the local cant, and poor Francisco, the courtly Espanol. What confusion!
'Tis hardly worth bothering with this poor wretch. His clothes are bloodied and destroyed. The half of him that isn't dead will soon expire when Bingham gets here.
I am Captain Francisco de Cuéllar, commander of the galleon San Pedro of the Armada of Spain.
A Spaniard? Captain by the sound of it.
De Cuéllar, España.
Okay, de Cuéllar. Anyway, he better shift his arse before the Sassany arrive. Faker Shuttakara. Over the dunes there. Church. Monks. Over there. Stodge Abbey. Shelter. Otherwise, hanging or losing the head.
Our hero finds a hiding place among the dunes. The sounds of battle fade away. A young man of his nation, naked and confused, lays down beside him. The dawn of morning finds Francisco come to sense. His poor companion, not so fortunate, lies deadly cold and still. his troubles o'er. Francisco crawls to find the monk's abode, the church destroyed, images of the saints burned and ruined, and 12 Spaniards hanging from the bars of holy windows. He drags his weary body to the wrecking shore to find something to eat.
Hop, cows, along with ye before the Sassana arrive and make mince meat out of you and me. Oh, there's mayhem down at the shore, and all the village of Grange gathering silver, gold, fancy clothes, and timber from the great destruction of ships. If I don't get ye hid soon and hurry there, me last chance of a pension in me old age is gone. Some older than me are taken in fine young Spanish bucks and hiding them in grain huts for later tasting. Hop, cows, or I'm late for everything.
I'm Captain Francisco de Cuéllar, proud commander of the Galleon San Pedro of the mighty Spanish Armada.
A poor specimen, dirty and damaged. Fit for gathering weed and winkles, maybe, but sure, so can my old man. Could he herd sheep on lofty Ben Bulben? Row long boat to Inishmurray and back? Bait half-wild buckos from Clonty Proclish? Catch salmon with pitchfork and sack?
She surely is an ugly old hag, but kind, perhaps. Sounds like a poet, of which there can't be many in these wild parts.
Could I hire him as potboy to the village shebeens? Stack shelves in local food halls? Is he fit to bring packages to far-flung Carney? Or shear sheep for farmers withal?
Could you spare me something to eat, do you think?
Useless. 2 minutes acquaintance and he wants something off me. I'll do him no mischief, but set him on the right road. Best he avoids the village of Grange. Head for Leitrim and O'Rourke at Drumahare.
I'll draw a curtain on these proceedings. Francisco got sterling advice. He heads for the hills in the Leitrim direction. Glencar Lake, and the people are nice, he hopes. Francisco de Cuéllar is heading for Leitrim, the village of Grange left behind. But the country is full of scoundrels and ruffians, and the road has nary a sign. He is lost and forsaken, a stranger in a savage land. He is without food, water or shelter, but he must go on or die. The mountain rises above him and the rain begins to fall. A gang of 4 accosts him, a bloody fight ensues. Francisco sustains a leg wound, they strip him of his clothes.
Leave him be now. He's sorely wounded.
He has some hidden coin, which we must have. And look at this gold chain. He must give up all his wealth.
Leave him his clothes and leave him be. But what's this scapular he wears? Give it here, poor man, and I will make an end to this abuse.
I hope it gives you better protection than it afforded me.
I will send a boy to guide you to O'Rourke, the chief of Breffni. He will shelter you from Bingham and his murdering gangs.
O'Rourke's stronghold lies 12 miles to the east. He is sheltering the Spanish from the wrecks, a Gaelic chieftain friendly to the Spanish cause. He hates the English crown. He keeps the ancient ways of Brehon law and Gaelic custom. Francisco sets out the following day, led by the boy. They hide whenever danger rears its head. Misfortune seems to follow him apace. A rabble gang surrounds him. He is beaten, stripped, and left for dead. He seeks to find a quiet spot to die. He spies straw huts by a lake. Here is a cozy spot for you to die, my friend, far from dusty Spain and all your kin. Crawl in and lay your weary bones to rest. Mother of God, preserve your olive skin.
I sought out the best hut to take shelter in for the night. Just then, I saw 3 men emerge from one side, naked, as when their mothers brought them forth. And they stood up and started at me. I said, "O Mother of God, be with me, and deliver me from all evil." When they saw me speaking Spanish and calling upon the Mother of God, they also said, "Let that great lady be with us." They were Spaniards. I say to them then to be of good courage, and that near to where we were was a village of Señor de Rourke, and on the morrow we should proceed there.
Some 8 of us were killed, but we survived to join the great O'Rourke at his far castle in the east.
Señor de Rourke will be pleased as we, 4 scarecrows, join his band. I am Francisco de Cuéllar, poor captain of the Armada, come to grief.
Francisco de Cuéllar, captain of San Pedro. It is he.
We must take rest. We have a long road to travel before we reach O'Rourke's castle for sanctuary and some poor subsistence, perhaps.
With spirits restored and strength renewed, they set out by light of a bright full moon to gain the safety of O'Rourke's manse. Succour and sustenance they hope soon, wrapped in straw against the biting cold. Watercress and a few black berries they gather on their way. Stumbling in mud and shedding blood, the castle they reach in a day or 2. Francisco soon falls far behind, his wounds an open sore. A Christian family take pity on him, his health and strength restore. O'Rourke's great manse at Dromahare he reaches 5 days hence. 70 Spaniards have gathered there, seeking sustenance.
Another naked Spaniard arrives. Already we're eaten out of house and home, and our chieftain, Sir Brian, away fighting the Sassana.
I am Francisco de Cuéllar, captain of the Armada, reduced to skin and bone and straw. Take pity.
Oh, pity indeed. Take this flea-ridden blanket I was bringing to the swine and cover your shame.
The swan will thank me for saving them a rash of travel. My thanks, kind maiden.
Take heed, Spaniard, for there's news of one great ship of your fleet hove to in Killybegs, and all of your race are hurrying to join her and gain passage back to Spain.
Can it be true? Hope springs anew. Show me the way to this escape.
Here's 2 of your kind, determined on the journey through wild Doon and all. And if you think it's rough fare here, wait till you meet the Donegal clans, MacSweeney's, Gallagher's, O'Donnell's and the like.
Look you, it's the captain. We set out to join Girona, lately fitting out in Kellebec. Come, captain, we must hurry, for it will soon sail.
Away, my friends, for Donegal.
Even now the captain trails behind, and soon he will fall back and lose his way. Depressed, He wanders through the gloomy woods. He meets no soul for several days. We meet again as night falls, deadly cold.
My wounds sloweth my progress, and who could blame my mates for rushing on to catch, perhaps, the last chance to get home to sunny Spain?
Who have we here?
I am Francisco de Cuéllar, captain of the Armada, wretched and starving.
Take and eat this oaten bread, my son.
My thanks, good father. And am I on the right road for Quebec? And the Spanish galleon, there arrived to take all the Spaniards home.
You are, my son, but far too late. It sailed on the evening tide 2 days ago. And you are truly blessed, for it foundered on the Causeway coast.
Holy Mother, my poor compatriots, any saved?
All poor souls on board lost. Most drowned. Those few swam ashore, struck down by those who take the English coin.
My God, so sad, so brutal sad.
You best seek shelter from the local chief, McClancy of Dartry, who'll never bend knee to the English queen.
How will I find him?
Continue on your way, and 2 leagues hence you'll meet a great loch, wide and deep. That's Melvin. McClancy's village hugs its shores. Take your rest, my son. Set out refreshed when morning comes.
I set out for there, experiencing much travel on the road. And the greatest, and that which gave me most pain, was that a savage met me on the way, and by deceiving me, took me to his hut in a deserted valley, where he said I must live all my life, and he will teach me his trade, which was that of blacksmith. Before him, I showed a pleasant countenance, and proceeded to work for him, which pleased the wicked savage blacksmith, because I did it carefully, so as not to vex him, and an accursed old woman he had for a wife.
For 8 long days he labours hard, the blacksmith's trade to learn. But hard and all as the daily tasks, it's the nights he dreads, and the turn of the key in the lock as the wicked old hag creeps into his bed of straw. Exhausted he lies as she feasts her eyes on his comely limbs and his olive skin. Her attentions stick in his craw.
A new apprentice for the hairy blacksmith, by the looks of things. But who have we here?
Save me, Padre, from this slavery. The days are long and arduous, but the tortures of the nights are breaking my blessed spirits.
Come out, accursed blacksmith, and free this noble Spaniard. McClancy will have your guts for garters when he discovers this abuse of our gallant allies. Here comes 2 soldiers of McClancy's clan. They will show you the way to Rosclahar and save you from the predations of hairy blacksmiths and their consorts.
Behold the noble blue-eyed, strong-limbed chief, Ty Gog McClancy of Dartry's fabled race. O'Rourke of Breffny's strongest right-hand man, fit to grace the finest company of the Gaelic fiefs.
Already I have gathered 10 soldiers of Spain from the ships come to grief on Streedagh strand. All who escaped the clutches of the English tyrants are welcome in my lands. Fitzwilliam, Lord Deputy of the English Queen, orders that they be killed or sent to him in chains. But Dublin rule holds no sway in these wild parts, nor ever will. Look at this poor devil, much abused, starving, naked and in fear of his life. Take this cloak of woven cloth to warm your frozen bones. I grieve to see you so misused.
My heartfelt thanks, good Lord.
Rest quiet among my people and gather strength, for many trials lie ahead. I have a great need of able soldiers of Spain. My servant there, give him his fill of oaten bread and our best sour milk. Build up his frame and flesh of kine and deer. Clothe him in our loose coat of tight trousers of coarse goat hair, for it appears he loves to scratch. Warn all our women folk that he needs no pestering. Let him lie late abed like a love-lorn youth. But no love of woman should he have till he recovers.
My grateful thanks, honorable prince of this fair land. And if I can be of service, I pledge my allegiance to your standard for the kindness you show me. This cloak is wondrous soft and fine, and I must wash before the vermin take up residence. Good servant, bring me clean water and some seaweed, for I hear it heals the skin and drives out the hordes that plague me. This water's ice and salt burns my hide like fire. Woe there, servant, woe to you, and woe is me in truth. And here come two, a fine lady and her servant girl.
A fine-limbed, olive-skinned specimen. My man, Tygogue, is big and rough-hewn, in contrast to this dandy. I think I may dally a while and have some sport.
My lady finds me in my belt and naked as the day I first took breath. I'm lost in awe of your comeliness. Such beauty in a wild and rugged place.
What a flatterer he is, and I am not immune to pretty words. Take care, my fine Spanish blade. Tygogue is a jealous man, quick to anger. Your olive skin and fancy words persuade me you are of gypsy blood. Perhaps my palm will yield to you my future?
Show me here your pretty hand, and I will read the lines of fate in store for you. I will tell her 100,000 absurdities to gain her favor. I see a tall, dark, handsome man who worships the ground you walk upon. 9 comely children gambol at your feet,
Only 4.
and 6 more tend the 100 cattle in your corral. I see a mighty host of warriors led by your man go plundering in Donegal. They gather riches, cattle, and other effects.
Plamos. Sure we all know that there are no riches in the whole of Donegal, and no cattle there. Only sheep as scrawny as the mountain men who tend them.
Care you to learn more of what lies in store for you, dear lady?
You may call me Maeve. No silly tales now. Tell me straight your honest word.
Great danger here for a Spanish captain of your recent acquaintance. I cannot tell how this story ends, but I foresee great passion.
Foolish man. We must away to attend on Tig, who has much on his mind, of great affairs of state.
Look now the strife he draws upon his head. The tribe of Dartry want to know what is their fate. They constantly plead an audience with the seer. Morning, evening, the dead of night, it never ends, till Tig, who hears some whispers of his wife and her dalliances with the Spanish Don, calls halt.
The custom of these savages is to live as a brute beast among the mountains. The men are all large-bodied and of handsome features and limbs. They drink sour milk. On feast days, they eat some flesh half cooked, without bread or salt. They cover themselves with blankets and wear their hair down to their eyes. They are great walkers and inured to toil. They carry on perpetual war with the English. The most of the women are very beautiful, but badly dressed. They are great workers and housekeepers after their fashion. These people call themselves Christian. The great majority of their churches, monasteries, and hermitages have been demolished at the hands of the English, who are in garrison. In short, in this kingdom there is neither justice nor right, and everyone does as he pleases.
O'Rourke of Breffni has received reports of Fitzwilliam, and a great army gathered to throw down the Gaelic lords who refused to bend to the Lutheran Queen. Imprisonment, the fate for all who harbour Spaniards.
Fitzwilliam joined with Bingham and Athlone 10 days ago, and so will number 1,800 of horse and foot. Already they lay waste in Galway, where 1,000 soldiers of Spain, taken prisoner, have been cruelly executed. Bingham's spies report how O'Rourke and I took in the Spaniards. No mercy will be shown to him or me. Oh, had I the 1,000 Spaniards in this place, we hold no hope of beating such a force. So we must repair to the mountain fastness with all our people and cattle until the danger passes. The winter has set in. Biting winds from the northeast promise snow. Send for Captain Cuéllar to hurry here for my advice.
De Cuéllar here, you summoned me, my lord. How can I serve you?
An army hastens here to wreak destruction on all who stand against the Queen. You and your 8 countrymen can join me and my people in the hills where we take refuge. Or you can flee to the northern coast and take a chance on passage to Scotland, where many of the Spaniards already seek shelter from the Scottish king.
I have much to thank you for, my noble lord, and hope to return some recompense. Your people here, on your command, have shared their food and drink and comforts, nursed me back to strength. I cannot offer money to pay you out of this distress, but I have made a study of your castle here and its defenses, protected as it is by water deep and still. Its walls are thick and steep and lofty high. With proper plan, it can be held against the foe, despite his number and his armament.
What? You think you can hold that against this host of mercenaries?
I am weary of flying to the mountains and the woods, naked and barefoot, like some poor hunted beast. I stand and fight, if you allow it.
Talk on, and tell me how 'tis done.
Lay in provisions, muskets, crossbows, other arms, a pile of heavy stones, and we, 8 Spaniards, will make such a show that the enemy will think he is opposed by 100 strong. Unless he brings up large siege guns, he cannot breach these stout walls, nor can he get in close with boats and rafts, for we can pour huge stones and burning pitch upon his head.
And what if you betray me, make a pact, and hand over all without a fuss for free passage back to Spain?
I'm Captain Francisco de Cuéllar, proud officer of the Armada, and my word is my bond.
You and your men will swear before Almighty God that you will not surrender my castle to the enemy, but defend it to the death. Nor will you open the gates to any Englishman, Irishman, Spanishman, or any other man save this man, the McClancy.
As you command, my lord. So shall it be.
McClancy and his people, young and old, with cattle, sheep and tents and all their stores, have taken to the hills. They watch in dread the forces of the crown lay siege. Francisco and his stalwart band of 8 on battlements shout proud defiance. Winter clothes the countryside in bitter cold. The tribes of Dartry shiver on the heights of Knockaroo.
What cold, what bitter cold, and still no snow. The fire camps of our enemies burn low, and they must forage far and wide for stuff to burn and stuff to eat.
See, they break up the boats they used to make their last attack 10 days ago. We threw huge rocks and swamped the laden craft. Half drowned, dragged down by hidden currents of the deep, those that swam ashore did perish of lung congestion and the ache.
For 17 days now, we have endured a deadly siege. Yet we are snug and well provisioned in our keep. It seems we are protected from on high.
The relics of the local saints that McClancy entrusted on our care have mighty powers. Madoc, Medoc, and Sweet Mollash.
Our prayers are answered, and the saints whose ears we storm are paying heed. Look, look, across the lake and to northeast, the storm approaches, and the first soft flakes of heaven's bounty.
It snows! It snows!
A heavy snowfall covers all the land. The roads are hidden, driving winds make snowdrifts thick and fast. The army flees to shelter in the Pale. Foul Fitzwilliam vows to come back in the spring. He swears he will avenge his wounded pride. The Gaelic lords, McClancy and O'Rourke, will pay a heavy price.
By God, this squealer, 'twas well done. I swear your deeds will long echo in the annals of the Gaels. To hold a castle against a multitude 1,800 strong, and you just 8. No stone left unturned, but cast upon the head of foul Fitzwilliam. I've a mind to set you as captain of all my forces. The favours so far you've enjoyed will be as nothing to what I've in store for a hero such as you. To bind you to my side, I wish to make you my kinsman. And to that end, I offer you the hand of my blood sister in marriage.
My lord, I cannot marry your fair sister. I have a wife in Spain, and to marry twice will be a moorish act.
How come this only lately comes to light? You sported like a single man some weeks back.
A man is a weak thing and may sin from time to time. But a vow made in church and for God is no small trifle. My lord, before Fitzwilliam and his army came to these parts, you talked to me of passage to Scotland.
Listen well now, brave captain. I've need of heroes in these troubled times. The roads are dangerous, and you have no chance of success. Stay here and enjoy our bounty while you can. Train our warriors in the art of continental warfare, and I will reward you well. But no more talk of Scotland.
As you wish, my lord.
Francisco tries to banish from his mind all thoughts of sunny Spain. Christmas approaches, and like all exiles at this blessed time, the thoughts of home and family come crowding in. A new year dawns. McClancy's youngest son lets slip his father's hopes that Spain will send a force to aid him in his fight against the Queen.
The boy was boasting to his friends that Maglana has a plan to keep us here detained until the King of Spain should send an army to his aid.
The king will never risk an army for this price. A rocky outpost, far from rule of law, and a tribe that once made strong, will turn upon their neighbors.
What do we do?
We must away to the northern coast and try to gain a passage to Scotland. Many of our kin are already there. From there, perhaps, a ship to the Spanish lowlands, and thence to Spain.
He takes then to the road, heading north for the Causeway coast, hard going, keeping to the high ground and the lonely ways. His leg wounds open. Again he falls behind his fellows and is left alone and friendless.
Will my troubles ever end? My leg bleeds grievously, and I'm wakened, so I cannot go much further.
Is this luck or something uncanny? Never does he sink though his fortunes vary. Is it the gypsy blood, the olive skin, saves him from disaster through thick and thin? Here come 2 women of the Gaelic clan.
He faints away from loss of blood. And though there is a bounty for captured dons, and hurt for those who help them, I think we should offer him shelter. Support him either side, mother, and away to our mountain hut before we're discovered.
A month and a half they minister to him, hand and foot. His strength returns, his wounds heal, his spirits revive. The country round about abounds with spies, where bounties make a fever with the searching troops.
I owe a debt I fear I never can repay to you and your good mother.
Hush, and keep your peace. We have grown fond of you, Francisco, and are loath to see your mind turn to the leaving of our company.
Danger lies all about for those who harbor such as me. My strength is restored, and now is time to take my leave. Each day I dally here, I risk bringing disaster to you, ministering angels.
We must gather little pleasures where we may in these bad times. Our world is turned awry, the old disorder much upset. A new wind blows a draught of change, and no one knows what follows next.
The boy was right. Here's a Spanish dog, caught unaware. Take care, my fine young miss. Who lies with dogs gets up with fleas. You may end up with much to scratch.
Too late for that. Unhand him. He is entrusted to our nursing care by our Chief O'Cahan for ransom to Lord Deputy Fitzwilliam. If you harm one hair of his head, it will go hard on you.
He should be under guard. How can you detain him if he runs?
Look at his wound, you fool. How can he run? I need but raise my voice, and O'Cahan's man is here. He takes his ease inside.
Come, let's go fetch a horse and bring this hero to his fate. Mind him well, and when we return, I will endeavour to replace him in your affections.
Away, Francisco. Run, before they discover this deceit.
But what will happen to you and your good mother when they find me fled?
We will hide away in the mountains for some time. It will pass, for these are frantic times, and our small parts are soon forgotten by villains and heroes alike.
I shall not forget.
Our hero grows desperate to leave far behind him the shores of old Ireland. Nothing much changes despite the long centuries from that time to this. The people of the mountain protect him. He lives like the mountain hare, running and hiding. The Bishop of Derry, Catholic friend of Spain, gathers 18 Spaniards, Francisco among them, embarks them on a leaking vessel with flimsy sail, driven by storms to Shetland. Eventually, they cast up in Scotland, begging sanctuary.
We threw ourselves on the mercy of the Scottish king.
A noble king?
A nobody, a puppet for the queen. 6 months we suffered there, naked and hungry. Never will that place have independence from the Queen Elizabeth.
You may be right. What happened next?
A prisoner ransom was agreed. 5 ducats, a man delivered safe to Spanish hands in the lowlands. She has a love of money, to the queen. It ended in confusion. 4 ships embarked with 500 of us on board. The Dutch conspired to kill us all. They sank 2 of the ships and slaughtered those who did not die of drowning.
How came you safe?
By the grace of God. Scarcely a handful made ashore, and I among them. Lucky to fall in with Spanish troops, who made short work of the Dutch traitors that came to hand.
No mercy then?
400 Dutch beheaded. A quick dispatch is mercy shown in this cruel world.
Cruel times indeed. What next for you, proud captain?
I take your leave. At Antwerp I have friends, and there I'll rest, perhaps to write my exploits. I approach my 40th year, and some will say time to retire and enjoy whatever largesse the king may bestow on his most loyal servant. A princely sum and a goodly pension, perhaps.
No more than you deserve for services to the crown. And so he leaves the stage. Our story folds, and so too must our players fold their tents. Francisco fades into the shadows of the past, and so must we poor actors.
And what of those he left behind, abandoned in his wake? McClancy and O'Rourke, and all whose lives he touched, the common folk?
Tygog McClancy, noble, blue-eyed, strong-limbed chief, defied the rule of England for 1 more year. Rosclahar fell to Bingham. Tig came to grief. The best killed man in Connacht, Bingham swears. His head struck off and sent to Dublin as a proof of his demise.
Poor Tig. And what of O'Rourke?
O'Rourke lost his right hand when McClancy lost his head. He fled to Scotland and implored the Scottish king to aid him. His pleas ignored. Sir Brian was handed o'er in chains to Tyburn and the scaffold. A traitor's death by hanging, a sad end. His last request, no hangman's noose of hemp, an Irish willow withy round his neck, a quick dispatch.
And all the others, the common folk?
They lived their lives as best they were allowed. The large events of history they endured. Francisco was remembered for a while and then forgotten.
That's sad. No trace remains?
Look you into the faces of the West, Streedagh, Grange, Glencar, and the rest, and in the olive skin and flashing eyes see Spanish blood?
The story ends?
Aye, this story ends. And is there any lesson here for men who love to hear a story of our past? At this, the end.